I love sushi.
I love Japan, period.
The tea ceremonies.
J-Rock!
Yeah.
Garuga Mess!
Oh, yeah. Hey.
I love anime!
Yeah. And manga!
And gaming!
Oh, DDR!
Smiley K!
Hey! Sakura-kan ikimasu!
Don't just talk about it. Check out Sakura-Con, April 10 through 12. Check sakuracon.org for all the details.
The year is 2009. Zack Snyder releases a previously thought impossible to adapt version of Watchmen.
Of costumed heroes. Attack on one is attack on all of us.
What do you suggest we do about it?
Retribution.
The PlayStation 3, 360, and Wii era video games continues with Batman Arkham Asylum, Modern Warfare 2, and New Super Mario Bros. Wii. And the first Simpsons episode of the year is Season 20, Episode 9, Lisa the Drama Queen.
Pardon me, Master, but what does a big fat wad like you know about Kung Fu?
Kung Fu is not about physique, but the channeling of one's energy, or chi. If you doubt my skill, please feel free to attack at my signal. Oh, my chi!
Cartoon Network had just gone through a massive amount of changes. After a controversy involving a mistaken bomb scare and the ending of a longtime institution in Fridays and Toonami, Cartoon Network was starting to seem like a shell of its former self. They would need to try something drastic to try to get things back on track. Unfortunately, their plan would prove even more disastrous. All of which we'll cover on Part 3 of the history of Cartoon Network.
If you're enjoying tonight's TDA, you're going to love Horror Thursdays, the very best place for brand new funny. New Chowder. New Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. Action! New Total Drama Action. New Stove. Always funny. I love it. Always new. Horror Thursdays. Thursdays at 8. Only on Cartoon Network.
If 2008 seemed like a transitional period for the network, 2009 was a full-blown shift. In the year of 2009, not a single new cartoon series premiered on Cartoon Network proper. And at this point, all but two that began airing before 2008 were cancelled, that being Chowder and Ed, Edd n Eddy, which would see its final episode air on November of 2009, making it still, as of now, the longest-running Cartoon Network series to this date, no matter what others say about a certain WB/DC original series. Instead, in 2009, Cartoon Network would embark on a bit of an experiment. One that had been teased and toyed with in years prior, but now is going in full force. For better, or as it would turn out, worse. That being CN Real.
Your name is Cartoon Network, so you expect to see nothing but animation when you flip CN on your TV. But the times they are a-changing, so don't get
CN Reel was both a block of shows and a new direction for the network that started in the summer, focusing more on live-action programming, all of which would be kicked off with an ad campaign and marketing hosted by artist Andrew W.K., who would also host one of the shows in this new era. Andrew W.K., previously known for songs like Party Hard, It's Time to Party, Party Till I Puke, and Ready to Die, seemed like an odd choice for a figurehead of CN Reel, but his high-energy persona, which made you feel both hyped and unsafe at the same time, was a sort of omen for the direction and changes we're taking. The block itself was made as an attempt to compete with networks Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, which had had a number of highly successful live-action shows. Although anyone would argue the strength of those shows were these scripted comedies, like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Even Stevens, and the pinnacle Cody in the House, while Cartoon Network attempted to compete with cheaply made and produced reality shows, which relied mostly on fake reactions and reused content. Speaking of, the CN Reel era began first with The Outsiders, a take on the already overused ghost hunting formula, only with kids wandering around supposedly haunted areas. A show that managed to air 26 episodes in the span of 5 months and was quickly cancelled due to low ratings.
Something just hit my shoulder.
What was it? Right there.
It's there right now?
The Outsiders, new episode, Wednesday night at 8, only on Cartoon Network.
Next up was the game show Brain Rush, hosted by a young Lamorne Morris of future New Girl fame. Brain Rush was a typical trivia game show, where contestants would answer questions of various sorts to win money. The most ever won being little over $5,000 and as little as $550. A whole 6 episodes were aired during the year of 2009, before again being quickly canceled.
You're on a game show until you sit in the seat. Surprise! You're on Brain Rush.
See the premiere of Brain Rush, Saturday, June 20th at 8. Part of the brand new CN Reel, only on Cartoon Network.
Next would be the show hosted by Andrew W.K. himself, Destroy, Build, Destroy, a competition show that would see 2 teams of 3 teens destroy various objects that attempt to build a vehicle from those objects, and then destroy the loser's vehicle in some way. This would be one of the 2 shows that would outlast CN Reel as a block, and last more than 1 year, surviving until 2011.
On the next, Destroy! Build! Destroy! It's a WWE Spectacular! John Morrison! Versus John Man! Power Brawl! Yeah! Everything! Bring it on! Pop the tire! You can't handle the juggernaut! Destroy! Destroy! Build! Destroy! Wednesday night at 8:30, only on Cartoon Network. Awesome. Be sure to vote in our poll and let us know what you think.
The other show to obtain a bit of success in the same way was Dude, What Would Happen? The show would focus on a group of 3 friends who would brainstorm different what-if scenarios, then spend the episode trying to recreate it. This and Destroy would be the most successful shows from the block, being number 1 among 6 to 11-year-old boys in its time slot. This would also enable it, much like Destroy, to survive until 2011.
Gallons of salad dressing.
Dude, what would happen?
Wednesday at 8:30 on Cartoon Network.
Not as successful was the last show on the CN Reel block, Bobby Says, which was a simple show where the host Bobby Johnson would give commentary over various clips. The show lasted a month, with a total of 6 episodes, which are mostly considered to this day lost media. We would also see a new Ben 10 live-action movie, Alien Swarm, based on the now older version of Ben, and again directed by Bill and Ted's Alex Winter.
I'll be fine, Elena. She's one of us.
She was one of us. You can't trust her. I just want my father back then.
We'll get him, I promise.
Well, I guess Ben is really on his own this time.
Thanks, buddy. You're taking the risk to help me. Going up against the team.
Just like old times, right?
As well, the Scooby-Doo live-action origin film The Mystery Begins would premiere, becoming Cartoon Network's highest viewed telecast at the time, at 6.1 million views.
Cartoon Network presents the story of how it all began. Meet our pet of the day.
It'll be just like in one of our mystery books.
Uncover
uncover the mystery behind the machine.
I think I got it now.
The facts behind Scooby Snacks.
Wow.
And the villain behind the mask.
It was Ghost.
The greatest mystery of all is about to be revealed.
Hear that, Scoob? We're in a class all our own.
Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins. Don't miss the world premiere movie. Sunday, September 13th at 7. Only on Cartoon Network.
But while Cartoon Network was trying to push more of a focus on live-action programming, there were still signs of hope in regards to animated, in the form of the Cartoon Institute. Created as a sort of pilot program in the same vein as the previous Cartoon program of the past, the Cartoon Institute was spearheaded by Cartoon Network executive Robert Sorcher and Craig McCracken to pitch new cartoon ideas outside of executive meddling and focus groups. 14 shorts were produced from various creators in 2009 and released online for public viewing in 2010, but only 2 of the shorts were later produced into full series, including Regular Show and Uncle Grandpa. ...2009 would also prove to be a slim year for Adult Swim, airing only 2 original shows in that year. The first being Titan Maximum, a parody of mecha anime like Voltron from the creators of Robot Chicken. While being well made with the same stop-motion animation team behind Robot Chicken, the show only lasted one 9-episode season, being cancelled a few days later after its cliffhanger season finale.
Alright everyone, let's suck this popsicle dry and shove the wooden stick up Gibbs' crap spout!
Hold on, Palmer. We don't know anything about this creature.
We know it has a crotch and we have a fist. Meeting adjourned.
Willie, weapons now!
Okay. Yes! The Protonic Disruptor! It fires bolts of energy that affect the target on a subatomic... Hey!
I missed. Give me another one.
But I only made one!
The other show would be a live-action sitcom parody named The Rising Sun, focusing on the life and drama of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus Christ. The show was also quickly cancelled after 4 episodes, and has never been mentioned again by the network, but still able to watch on its website.
Monday nights have all of your brand new comedies. New Adventure Time.
Be calmed by my saliva.
New Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated.
Wee wee!
New Total Drama World Tour.
Yes! In your face!
New Johnny Test.
It's party time!
Oh, no way. You guys made it.
It's all funny. It's all new. Monday nights starting at 7, 6 Central. Only on Cartoon Network.
2010 would be a sort of correction, or at least an attempt to, from the disastrous CN Real experiment. This would start with a new rebrand, known as the Check It era. The course correction would include even more action-adventure focused shows, the first being another sequel series to Ben 10, Ultimate Alien, continuing the adventures of teenage Ben, Gwen, and Kevin as they have new threats, new aliens. Because of the continuing success of Ben 10, Cartoon Network would produce another adventure series for Man of Action, this being Generator Rex.
So make way to start a revolution. Make way, we're gonna have fun tonight. Make way to start the revolution. So make way. So make way to start a revolution. Make way to start a revolution. So make way.
Based on the short-lived Image comic named M. Rex, Generator Rex focused on a teenager named Rex, an amnesiac given special powers thanks to nanites in his body.
My nanites turning me into a rampaging monster? I control them. Tell them what to do. That means I can do things like this! Incoming! I'm Rex. Now thrill me.
These nanites are part of all living things on Earth after an explosion which spread them across Earth's atmosphere. The nanites will randomly activate, giving anyone infected different powers and deformities. The series would last 2 seasons and even have a crossover special with Ben 10 later on, but would not be as successful as its sister series Ben 10. Like many of its kind, its cancellation was also due to low toy sales as well as ratings. Continuing the adventure trend was a new show from longtime Cartoon Network contributor Genndy Tartakovsky, Symbiotic Titan.
When a parent meteor slammed down on the outskirts of town. What the heck is that?
That didn't work out so well.
Agreed. The show focuses on Lance, Lana, and their robot, Octus, who have fled their home planet, which has been overtaken by the evil general, Majula. The three land in a small town in Illinois and attempt to blend in with the local high school and its various dramas. However, Majula is able to track the trio and send waves of monsters after them to kill Alana, the last heir to their home planet and its final step to total conquest. When they're attacked, the three have their own special armors to defend themselves. But when the threat is too large, the three can combine into a giant robot, the titular Symbiotic Titan. Tartakovsky cites the influence of shows and movies like Robotech and John Hughes movies, like 16 Candles and Breakfast Club, for the show, and described, "I have always loved the idea of kids driving giant robots." While popular with critics and audiences, the show was cancelled after Cartoon Network was unable to secure a toy deal. Because of this, the show's cliffhanger ending was never resolved. And with it being another victim of tax write-offs, it likely will never see an ending anytime soon.
Symbiotic Titan. New series premieres Friday at 8, only on Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network would not be the only studio to produce action for the channel. Warner Brothers would be back with another DC show, this time in the form of Young Justice.
Kicks reached security. They were told to follow orders. Stay put. They didn't listen. Take them down hard. Oh, and one more thing. Don't call us sidekicks. The Young Justice 1-hour special event. Friday, November 26th at 7/6 Central. Only on Cartoon Network.
Young Justice focus on a team of sidekicks and prodigies for the DC's greatest heroes, teaming up to battle various threats, including the ever-reaching influence of the Light. The original team consisted of Robin, Aqualad, Kid Flash, and Speedy, but would later be joined by Miss Martian and a clone of Superman named Superboy. The show would be a bit more of a mature take on the concept, more so than Teen Titans and closer to previous comic versions. And while another show that was popular with both audiences and critics, it would be cancelled after 2 seasons due to low toy sales. It would later be revived 6 years later for DC's own streaming service and then HBO Max, to huge fanfare but middling results. The last action outing for the year would be the original movie Fire Breather.
Duncan, you're a 16-year-old boy like every other guy in your class, and every kid in that school has problems of their own.
Check out the new kid.
You don't want to fight me. It's not gonna be a fight. Just a beat down.
What's your secret?
Balak! Why now? Why here?
Because he's not only king of the kaiju, he's also my dad.
Based on the Image comic of the same name, Fire Breather would focus on Duncan, a teen born from the union of a human mother and a kaiju father. His birth would lead to the end of the Great War between the two sides, but now Duncan is starting at a new school, trying to fit in with his orange skin and ability to breathe fire.
What if he chooses to come freely?
What happens now?
This doesn't determine who you are. You make your own choices. You've probably got questions about how you were conceived.
No, not listening. La 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 la.
This is Duncan, my heir.
I don't want to succeed you.
This is crazy.
Oh, it gets better.
Next month, he's part human, part dragon, all hero. Fire Breather, an all-new original movie. Next month.
So, your dad's king of all monsters. Cool.
Only on Cartoon Network.
After all that action, Cartoon Network needed something a little bit more chill to balance it out. Luckily, 2010 would bring a regular show.
Yeah, we don't have cakes.
Regular show. New series premieres Monday, September 6th at 8:15, only on Cartoon Network.
Created by J.G. Quintel, who would also voice the main character Mordecai and compose the theme music, the show was based on a series of student films that he had made around 2005 and 2006. This included The Naive Man from Lollyland, about a big-headed chap getting into trouble after trying to pay for his meal with candy.
What's going on here?
Gramps here is trying to pay with lollipops. I don't believe this. That's a strawberry tip I left you, Viocad. I don't care what flavor it is. I'm not taking candy from some lollipop-headed freak. Bad show. Bad.
And 2 a.m. p.m., about 2 gas station attendants working at the graveyard shift on Halloween who trip out on acid-laced candy.
When is it supposed to kick in?
Right fucking now.
What?
Oh, look in the window.
What the fuck? This is crazy. Come on, that's not me. That's not me. If this crap fucks up my brain, I'm gonna kill you, man.
Characters from these shorts, or at least their designs, would be included in the show proper, which would focus on 2 friends, Mordecai and Rigby, who live and work at a public park as caretakers.
Dude, these are probably the best graphics I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, it looks just like the cover.
They work alongside fellow employee Skips, voiced by Mark Hamill.
How did you know?
I could tell by the shame in your eyes.
Muscle Man, High Five Ghost.
Transferring you to our bilingual system.
No! 000!
Hola, Yamaste Radio, kill it.
I don't understand what you're saying!
And their boss, Benson.
No, I don't want to hear it. Hey, I don't know what was on that tape or why those guys were after it, but I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. You've ruined karaoke night!
Every episode would have a theme of starting out with an almost mundane or relatable problem that would always escalate quickly into dangerous and supernatural threats. While aired around other kid shows, this was a show made for older audiences, and was one of the very few shows that at the time had to be edited after initial runnings to remove certain words and phrases, like pissed off.
You pissed me off.
A more short-lived new show of the year would be the chaotic mess of Robotomy.
Spring is here! Hooray!
You boys looking for a girlfriend? Been there, done that.
I need to tell you something.
What? Shh, don't make a sound. Really?
Robotomy. New series premieres tonight at 8:45. Right after Matt at 8:30.
Yep.
Only on Cartoon Network.
Created by Superjail creator Michael Buckley, the show shares a lot of similarities with Superjail. Mostly a large amount of destruction and violence, made better by the fact that they're all robots. Set in a high school on the planet Insanus, 2 best friends, Thrasher and Blastus, try to survive normal teenage problems, and the not-so-normal problems that come with living in a hellish robot world. While unique for the network, as it was made for older audiences, it was ultimately a failure for ratings and critics, and only lasted 10 episodes before quickly being cancelled and swept under the rug. However, one last show would come out of 2010 that would stand the test of time in a big way.
Adventure time! Come on, grab your friends. We'll go to very distant lands. We'll take the dog and then the human. The fun will never end. It's adventure time.
Created by animator Pendleton Ward, Adventure Time would start life as a short on the Nickelodeon-based program Random Cartoons, which, much like the What a Cartoon Show, worked as a sort of pilot program to introduce new shows. But Nickelodeon was not interested in a full series for Adventure Time, despite it becoming a viral hit online.
Want to hear a funny joke? Knock, knock.
But Cartoon Network would commission a full series order and put a lot of their weight behind it marketing-wise.
What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? What? What time is it? What? Come on, tell me what time is it?
What?
What time is it, guys? Vampire fighting time! What time is it?
Who's ready to party?
What time is it?
Fun time.
What time is it? I don't care! Oh, what time is it? What? What time is it?
Yeah, man.
What time is it?
Yogurt chip.
What? What time is it?
Oh my gosh.
What time is it?
Adventure time?
Yeah, man!
A new cartoon this April on Cartoon Network.
Adventure Time takes place in the land of Oo, where a different adventure is around every corner. Someone always looking for adventure is the main character, Finn the Human, and his brother, Jake the Dog.
Congratulations, Finn the Human! Now you have truly reached the end.
Oh no! Mr. Keeper, I'm sorry. Why are you wearing that little devil costume?
These are my pajamas. I was getting ready for bed.
The start of the series started very simply, with Finn and Jake going on different adventures, which usually revolve around Ice King kidnapping princesses.
Ice King!
What?
Why are you keeping these girls prisoners, jerk?
You don't understand. I collect princesses because I want to marry one.
Well, why'd you capture 6 of them if you just want to marry one?
I'm collecting them all first to be sure I make the right choice. You're both too young to understand, but marriage is a serious thing and lasts forever. You can't just rush into it, you know?
Including Finn's love interest, Princess Bubblegum.
I should not have drunk that much tea.
And fan favorite, Lumpy Space Princess, voiced by Ward himself.
Ribbit. Password, please.
Whatever, it's 2009!
Over time, the series would evolve into something bigger, revealing much more lore, more character, and uncovering more mysteries surrounding the origins of the show, its characters, and the world itself. The series would be a pretty big hit for the channel, one of the few shows that at the time got real merch like toys and apparel, spin-offs and miniseries, video games, and comics. It's one of the many examples of Cartoon Network, even at the time, noticing greatness when it presented itself, and nurturing it for the benefit of everyone, more likely trying to make up for the previous mistakes of CN Real. Speaking of, Cartoon Network was still attempting to find the first smash hit live-action show, which they would try with the live-action scripted drama Tower Prep.
Where am I? Who are you guys? You don't have much time, Ian. Wait, how do you know my name? What is this place, Tower Prep?
How about you tell us and we'll all know?
I'm sorry, I need answers.
Oh, wait, you're out of uniform!
The big question here, Ian, is who are you?
Most of us are what you call special. Give me a for instance.
Give me a for instance.
Created by Paul Dini, who had previously been known for his amazing work at the DC animated projects, like the Superman and Batman animated series, and Batman Beyond, Tower Prep would focus on a boarding school for kids with supernatural powers, and a specific group of friends who worked together to solve mysteries at the school. Like many other live-action projects for the network, it was short-lived at only a 13-episode season.
What? We're making a break for it. I'm in.
This way.
You always fight like that? It's easier I'm not alone.
WB would also continue to release shows for the channel, starting with what many would consider the best iteration of the Scooby-Doo franchise to date. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated was at the time a huge shakeup in the franchise. Not only did the series go for an overarching story, a first for the series, but would also incorporate relationship drama to the group, notably pairing up Velma and Shaggy and Daphne and Fred for the first time.
Like what gives, Velma? You love the marathon.
That was last year.
This year, the marathon falls on our 1-month anniversary. And the prom. Fortunately, I think I have the perfect solution.
Gulp, like am I gonna like it?
Along with this, the series would be set up in the gang's hometown, rather than focusing on traveling to different areas, which meant we got more instances of the gang's family and parents.
Like, thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, thanks, Mom and Dad.
Your mother and I are worried about this mystery phase you're going through. We're not saying find new friends.
Yes, we are.
The show would still have mysteries to solve, however, but also include real monsters and ghosts. With its darker story and drama-focused character development, the series is a highlight of the franchise, one that many future iterations would take inspiration from.
But you've got a job as a teacher. Why do you need more money?
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Really,
I get it.
Next, Cartoon Network would get a little mad.
We interrupt this program with some breaking news.
One small step for... Oh, man.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled program.
Mad. It's Mad Funny. New series premieres Monday, September 6th at 8:30, only on Cartoon Network.
First launching in 1952, Mad was first a comic series before transitioning into a magazine in 1955. Since then, it became one of the most influential forces in satire and out-there humor before the publishing of its final issue in 2018. It would not be the first time that Mad would be adapted for TV. A live-action sketch comedy show would air on Fox for 14 seasons, although apart from the name and a few animated shorts here and there for things like Spy vs. Spy strips, it would have very little to do with the magazine itself. Later, Cartoon Network would produce a new series that would draw more direct inspiration from the source material. Developed by Kevin Shinnick, who worked as a writer, producer, and voice actor for Robot Chicken, Mad would be a sort of kid-friendly version of Robot Chicken, focusing on both parodies of different media and original shorts and cartoons in the style of some of the strips in the magazine. The series would air for 4 seasons, making it fairly successful overall.
What are his vitals?
They're over 9,000.
What? 9,000? That's impossible. I'm gonna have to power up to Super Surgeon.
Beginning December 27th.
Ah, look who's here.
Stay with me, cause it's gonna kick you in the hillbilly ass.
It's true? Oh my God! Oh no!
King of the Hill. Monday through Saturday at 9 and 9:30 on Adult Swim. Beginning December 27th.
That should do it. 2010 would be a little slim for Adult Swim, at least in regards to animated shows, having only one series premiering that year, that being Mary Shelley's Frankenhole.
Beginning June 27th.
I give you the Creator. It's alive!
Scat! Scat!
Easy with the teeth! Ow! Join award-winning horror experts Dino Stamatopoulos and Andy Dick as they host Mary Shelley's Frankenhole, beginning June 27th.
The time has come.
Created by Dino Stephanopoulos, who had worked with Adult Swim as a writer and actor on various projects like More Oral, Drinky Crow, and Tom Goes to the Mayor, this stop-motion comedy focuses on Dr. Frankenstein, who has not only mastered immortality, but has also developed wormholes, or Frankenholes, that connects to all points in both the past, present, and future, allowing different figures of all sorts to come to Dr. Frankenstein for help in various kinds.
Well, thank you for coming all the way from your own time and space.
Mostly time, really. It's no problem. Kind of fun, actually.
Yes, well, what can we do for you?
I hate the Jews. Historically, you are in good company.
Adult Swim would also get 2 new original live-action series in 2010. The first being a spin-off from Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job, that being Check It Out with Steve Burrell.
Check it out.
Check it out!
Steve Steve Burrow was a character from a recurring sketch on Awesome Show, played by notable comedy actor John C. Reilly. The show itself was a parody of public access shows, and would highlight Steve's character as being socially awkward and naive about all things.
Jail. Come on, Clan. Let's check it out. Jail is a clubhouse where all the bad boys live. It's where all the meanest hunks sleep and eat. Pretty cool. I had a meeting with the #1 bad boy of all, named Worgen.
You're dealing with the most dangerous population in the world here.
I know.
We have robbers, murderers, pedophiles, drug dealers, rapists, you name it, we have it.
You ever have to spank any of these bad boys?
Every so often we have confrontations here.
Yeah, you spank their bottoms cherry red.
It depends.
He would also interact with real people, assuming that he was actually filming a real show. The production of the show was notable for actually putting all the footage recorded through a VCR, and even striking it during recording to simulate tape issues. The show itself was quite popular for the network, lasting 4 seasons over the span of 6 years.
It's not that hard to let other people from other countries talk to you. If you have peaches and it's just all peaches and cream all the time, it'd just be a dessert, you dungo. I love guacamole, it's my favorite. What's that? Oh, it's really hot guacamole. Holy guacamole, yeah! Check it out!
Along with this, we would see the medical drama parody, Children's Hospital.
Thursday.
We're breaking up.
We weren't dating. Wait, were we dating?
Blake says goodbye to the love he doesn't really remember happening.
This used to be us.
When? Then, one doctor must race against time, ladders, the ground, another lady, and a water fountain to push the emergency don't die button.
Oh, this is really pushing my buttons. But it is.
New Children's Hospital, Thursday at midnight.
Created and starring Rob Corddry, Children's Hospital started as a short web series on WB.com, but the rights to the show were soon picked up by Adult Swim, and new episodes began airing in 2010. Children's Hospital had a pretty star-studded cast behind it, including Henry Winkler, Nick Offerman, and Jordan Peele, among others. The series was originally set to go to Comedy Central, who showed interest. However, Adult Swim's unique format for episodes, being only about 11 minutes long, rather than the standard 30 minutes of a traditional TV, fit better for the show's style. Because of this, the show had a rather successful run on the block, having 7 seasons over a 6-year span. We would also see a new animated special/movie named Freaknik the Musical. Originally intended and pitched as a full series called The Crooked Sip, it did get a pilot. There were more storyboards ordered after that initial pilot, but it eventually fell through and became something close, but different. What it became was a movie about the Ghost of Freaknik, the annual spring break festival that started in 1983, that was played by rapper T-Pain, who was a big fan of Adult Swim. The Ghost of Freaknik comes back to announce the return of the festival and a Battle of the Bands contest. This attracts the interest of the Sweet Tea Mob, a group of young rappers who travel to the festival to win the battle and make it big.
Click of these black power skydiving niggas. Oh yeah, the Flying Malcolms. There's bananas.
This musical was full of many different guest stars, some of which appeared already on other Adult Swim projects, like Snoop Dogg, Charlie Murphy, CeeLo Green, Little John, and more. The movie did fairly well ratings-wise, but was a rare case of a home video release at the time, along with the soundtrack being released on CD. However, as of this time, it has never been re-aired, and it's not available to stream.
Watch the newest episodes of your favorite comedy. It's more of what you like on Monday nights.
What do you like?
Partying. You sure like ice cream.
Ice cream is good.
Macaroni.
Yeah,
I love monsters who invade planets. Oh, naps. I love naps. And explosions.
See anything you like?
What about Monday nights?
Yes! You hear that, guys?
Yeah!
Now you're making sense, and now I'm making snacks.
Your newest, funniest, favoriteest comedies. Monday nights starting at 7, 6 Central. Only on Cartoon Network.
Moving into 2011, Cartoon Network would start the year releasing two rather weird and off-the-wall shows to the channel, to diminishing results. The first being The Problem Solvers.
I burn my taste buds! That's me. My name's Alfred. Alfred! There I am again, running, screaming my own name. I have a TV show on Cartoon Network with Robo. Oh, hi. And Horace.
I'm Horace.
Yeah, he's Horace. Whatever. We're the problem solvers, and we're really awesome at it.
That's a no-brainer.
Because these problems are not at all hard to solve.
The Problem Solvers. New series premiere starting Mondays in April. Only on Cartoon Network.
Created by Ben Jones, a creator who has done many different projects on various networks of all kinds, and would go on to create the underrated Stonequackers for FXX. The Problem Solvers is a bizarre show where not much makes sense. The show focuses on a trio of detectives who work as problem solvers. The characters were originally designed by Ben back in college, and he would use the characters with some friends in various animations and comics before pitching a pilot for a full show to Adult Swim. While Adult Swim passed, Cartoon Network of all places would end up commissioning a full series order. This would prove to be the wrong move, and the series was panned by both critics and audiences. While 3 seasons of the show were produced, only the first season was aired on Cartoon Network. The rest were aired exclusively on Netflix. The next rather odd show would be Secret Mountain Fort Awesome. Created by Peter Browndardt, Fort Awesome revolved around a group of monsters doing various things. While the show did have an all-star voice cast, including Paul Rugg, Gray DeLise, and even Dee Snider, and it was praised for its art style, the show in question was not well received from audiences and critics, leading to the last few episodes of Season 2 being dumped on iTunes, not aired on the network proper. However, while the show didn't go well, it would serve as a backdoor pilot for Pete's new show, which would air on the network in a few years' time. Cartoon Network would produce 2 arguable strikes, but they were about to hit a home run, proving the old adage of third time's the charm.
In a world in chaos,
Oh, hello.
where love has no place, 2 heroes fight for the power of friendship.
Dude, what's with the voice?
It's my movie voice.
You sound like you're gargling gravel.
Look, you want the trailer to be average, or you want it to be good?
All right, whatever.
The Amazing World of Gumball is a sort of slice-of-life comedy about an anthropomorphic cat named Gumball and his fish brother Darwin, and their various shenanigans in the fictional town of Elmore. Gumball is a very unique series because it plays around too much with its varied characters and art styles, incorporating 2D animation, live-action characters, Muppet/Muppet themed characters, and even CG elements. While the series would start mainly focusing on Gumball and Darwin, and occasionally their little sister Anais, because of its stacked cast of characters, including Gumball's teachers, his parents Nicole and Richard, and his various classmates, it meant that there were many different stories to tell. And while the series was cancelled recently, a new film was greenlit in 2021. And while no solid details have been released as of yet, Cartoon Network is still keeping the series alive, airing it quite a bit on the network to this day.
Girls! Explosions! All of this in the Amazing World of Gumball!
WB would continue to provide Cartoon Network with shows, starting with the Looney Tunes show. A new twist on the Looney Tunes format sees the characters in a slice-of-life setting, with Bugs and Daffy as roommates, living in a typical suburban neighborhood. Other classic characters also appear, including Lola as Bugs' oddball girlfriend, Porky as a neurotic workaday wage slave, Speedy Gonzales, who owns his own restaurant, and Yosemite Sam as the neighbor from hell. While the show originally flew under a lot of people's radar, it would have a respectable 3-season run and become much more popular years later when more people discovered clips of it.
Beep beep. Oh my gosh, we got into a car wreck. Now we have to exchange information. What?
Next from WB would be Thundercats.
These were days of peace and prosperity on Third Earth, when one empire stood above all others, ruling with a just heart and razor claw. And though omens foretold in the book would be ignored, the tragedy to come was necessary. For it was written that he would be born of fire, a king to lead his people to victory against ancient spirits of evil.
Much like the Master of the Universe remake a few years earlier, Thundercats would make an effort to introduce the property to new audiences. This show was popular with both critics and audiences. However, it was canceled after one season, mostly due to poor toy sales.
For the pride!
How quickly things change for the cats.
Lord of the Thundercats, go.
I can't do this alone.
You won't have to. Thunder! The day I have always feared has arrived. Thunder to the death! Thunder!
Thundercats!
Adult Swim would continue to take chances with different types of shows in 2011, starting with Mongo Wrestling Alliance.
Rusty, Fat Balthazar, Baron, Acid Alice, and you too, Blackstack Johnson. You will pay for what you've done. Show 'em, Booter.
Ain't these two hurt enough?
No! Prepare for the Sandwich Slam!
Sandwich Slam! My God! We're screwed. We're dead. Booter's gonna get us. Which one of these masks blends in with society more? We gotta go on the lam. We're done for.
Don't be a coward, Bolt. We are not running away.
Mongo Wrestling Alliance centers around the world of professional wrestling, as recent college graduate Rusty Kleberg tries to work his way up the ladder to avenge his grandfather, who was portrayed in the titular Mongo Wrestling Alliance. The show was created by Metalocalypse co-creator and former WWF writer Tommy Blanchett, who mixed his knowledge of pro wrestling with the over-the-top violence and gross-out humor that he was known for in Metalocalypse. However, the show only lasted one short 10-episode season.
What a title quest match, folks. Rusty Kleberg is well on his way to that title shot.
Victory for me and my unconquerable will!
And here comes Damian Mercury in what appears to be an antique AEDC-type biplane!
Airplanes are for cowards, Damien!
Oh! This blows!
Well, how can you quit, Rusty? What can you do other than wrestle?
Anything. I went to college.
Oh, that's right. I'm the one who can't do anything. God, I'm stupid.
Next would be Adult Swim's attempt to create a spin-off show from a spin-off, with disastrous results.
Is he always like this? Jesus gives people obstacles to make them stronger so that they can win. He plays a beautiful trick on us. Yeah. So you said you're into science. That's kind of like my job. I work in a cereal factory.
Get out of my way, you orange whore!
In 2008, Aqua Teen Hunger Force aired Bible Fruit, which introduced 3 evangelical fruit creatures with a taste for cocaine. The fruits themselves were played by David Cross, who has done guest spots previously for Aqua Teen Hunger Force as Happy Time Harry, Kristen Sherrill, known for Louise on Bob's Burgers and Mabel Pines from Gravity Falls, and H. John Benjamin, known for many Adult Swim projects like home movies. The episode would serve as a pilot for a full show, although the characters would be changed from fruits to various sports equipment.
He's gonna get it.
Bert! Check out all these awesome African babies.
Bloody bastard on the cross. You gotta be right batty to waste your quid on something like that.
Why, they must be practically giving them away.
They would also be joined by a Scottish soccer ball played by Vice co-founder and founder of the Proud Boys, Gavin McGuinness.
What's with all the broken glass?
It's fun to make. Try it.
You know babies crawl, right?
It's like a puzzle for the kids now. You give them a tube of glue and you watch them go.
The series was dead on arrival, with 6 episodes being produced, but only 4 being aired on TV, all in one chunk and never rerun again. The last animated Adult Swim show of 2011 would be a little bit more successful, having a built-in audience.
Ooh, yeah, mama. Ooh, yeah, mama. Ooh, la, 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 la. Ooh, yeah, mama. Yeah.
Brad Neely is an internet cartoonist who has created many projects and cartoons in his career, but he is most well known for various characters of China, Illinois, specifically Baby Cakes, the gentle giant with fat bars for all situations, and the Professor Brothers, 2 professors with a unique view on history.
This is supposed to be an American history course.
And you're supposed to be an American. You still get an A. I like your spirit.
These cartoons would have a following on the internet, which would eventually lead to a full series based on these characters, with Brad having creative and executive producer credits, as well as returning to voice Baby Cakes and the Professor Brothers, as you would in the original shorts.
I see you and you see I, man, I see you and you see I. China, Illinois, China, Illinois, China, Illinois, China, Illinois, China, Illinois. No, man, China, Illinois, China, Illinois, yeah. I see you and you see I, man, I see you and you see I see you and you. It's the worst school in America. I see you and you see I.
The series would run for 3 seasons and end with a musical finale, before being confirmed by Brad on social media that it was done forever, which seemed to apply to everything, as after the Adult Swim show ended, Brad has never produced a further short of any kind involving those characters.
She's so mean to Kim. Seems like she's obsessed or something.
Well, Sammy probably just hates Kim because she's pretty.
Oh, God. You're always like, women hate each other, and no 2 women in all of history have ever been friends. You should work on your feminism a little.
Oh, I'm a feminist. I'm not stupid. Girls won't f you if you're not a feminist.
2011 would bring in a new slew of live-action shows, starting with NTSF SD SUV.
It's been labeled the greatest tragedy in San Diego history. You've all been disavowed by NTSF, but the President of the Navy ordered me to detain you on site for an immediate trial, unless one of you assaults me right now and you can escape.
Okay, got it. So, when's the trial?
Damn! Laser security!
I got this. I'm in.
All right, great.
My partner was murdered last night.
Oh my God, I was killed? Okay, you bitches. This is my wedding now.
You need help, Sam?
Oh my God.
Did you think I was human for a moment?
No. Looks like I just made varsity kickball. Jacket has no pockets for glasses.
Created by comedian Paul Schur, a staple in previous Adult Swim live-action shows and seen in many other shows such as The League and Fresh Off the Boat, the show's full title was National Terrorism Strike Force San Diego Sports Utility Vehicle. A parody of both police procedurals like Law & Order and its spin-offs, the show ran for 3 seasons with a slew of webisodes and special episodes in various forms. In a similar vein was Eagleheart, which starred Chris Elliott of Dilbert fame as a parody of many cop shows, but specifically Walker, Texas Ranger. The series is notable for being co-produced by Conan O'Brien and his production company, Conoco. As well, the horror comedy The Heart She Holler would air at the same time. Starring Patton Oswalt and being a mix of gothic horror and soap opera format, this show is most known for its creepy ad campaign, which would include promos for other shows like Family Guy and The Cleveland Show being briefly interrupted by a screamer-type jump scare for a second, before resuming the ad as normal. While all 3 of these shows came and went for simple 3-season runs, one show would last a bit longer.
I won't lie. Being in hell isn't the easiest existence. Are the days long? Yeah. Oh good, Shane's here. Is the work hard? You better believe it.
At least we're not in the stalls. That's when things get ugly.
But ask me this. Would I trade the experience of being a tortured soul in the depths of hell for anything in the world?
Christy Crooks!
Ow! I would love to trade it. Is that trade available?
It wasn't my fault. It's Gary. What did you just do? I think I did it wrong.
Alright, good. That'll be good.
Who am I? Am I handsome? What fun!
Oh, Nacho?
Yeah.
Who wants to be young again?
All I have to do is burn in hell for an eternity? Where do I sign?
I want a river of bile, I want blood on the walls, I need a ghost in this cabinet.
Trying to have a conversation.
Created by Adult Swim notable Casper Kelly and Dave Willis, Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell explores a version of hell that's a bit more corporate, focusing mainly on the demon Gary, played by Last Podcast on the Left co-host Henry Zabrowski, as he attempts to do the bidding of Satan, played by a fellow SVU alum, Matt Servito, without being subjected to the various tortures and horrors that hell has to offer.
I gotta go. Hey, Gary. Take a break.
I'm good, actually. I don't need to take a break.
Gary, look at me. Look at me. You need a break. Come on.
Right on. Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do it. Come on. Oh, long day.
You know, I think I'm good. I don't think I need to go for a break.
Gary. This is why we have a break room. For moments like this.
I just feel that my passion is my work, and that taking a break is like taking a break from my passion.
Too much work makes too much.
Wait, let me just say hello to my friend Jason over in Rapes.
Gary. I know it's hard to miss.
Oh, break room. I haven't seen you in a while. Whoa. Those are really whirring, huh?
Let's go. I gotta get up to a meeting. Let's move along here.
Oh, man. That almost got me that time.
The production of Pretty Face is notable for its expansive green screen effects, and the fact that most of the cast members were painted head to toe to portray demons. While the show did last longer than the other 3 live-action offerings that aired that year, this was mostly due to the production schedule required, having a gap of up to 2 years between seasons. But it would end up securing a respectable 4-season run, and a series of animated shorts commissioned years later in 2022.
everyone's sleeping. But it's time to party.
I'll wake her up with a tickle.
Good show! Jolly good show!
"2012 would not bring much to the main Cartoon Network block, premiering only 2 original shows in this time, both keeping to the action trend the channel was riding. The first being a new sequel to Ben 10, Ben 10 Omniverse. This would be the last series of Ben 10 to follow the previous show's continuities. It would also shake things up for the series as a whole, bringing not only a new, slightly more cartoonish art style, but a new partner for Ben, writing off Gwen and Kevin for a new rookie member of the alien fighting force, the Plumbers, named Rook.
Huh? I know you haven't eaten yet. Magister Tennyson here says you prefer these chili fries. Care to join me? Partner!
Funnily enough, the second show, a WB production, would also involve a sort of space cop with an alien partner and a green-colored object that gave him powers. That being Green Lantern, the animated series. Released in part to capitalize on the assumed success of the Green Lantern live-action movie a year previous, Green Lantern follows Hal Jordan, Kilowog, and an AI-turned-robot, Aya, as they travel to a new frontier of sorts to help battle a new evil force known as the Red Lanterns, led by their leader, Atrocitus. The team is later joined by Razor, a somewhat reformed Red Lantern looking to redeem himself and find peace with himself. While the series had a lot of talent behind it, including previous DC animation powerhouse Bruce Timm, the series was cancelled after 1 season due to the combination of poor toy sales and the box office failure of the before-mentioned live-action film. The series would be shown along with other DC-related projects on the extremely short-lived DC Nation block on Cartoon Network. Created to highlight Green Lantern, Young Justice, various DC animated shorts, and 2 other shows which would not make its way to the channel until a year later. Similarly, Adult Swim would not bring much in the form of new original animated shows, but what it did present was more memorable and ambitious.
All you suckers gather round. There's a brand new movie coming to town. So get on up and check the scene of the smoothest, baddest mother to ever hit the big screen. Main man, Black Dynamite. He's super cool and he know kung fu. Drives a $5,000 car and wears a $100 suit.
You're so righteous.
This is also true.
Releasing in 2009, Black Dynamite starred former Spawn Michael J. White, who also helped to write the screenplay. Black Dynamite was a parody and homage to blaxploitation movies of the past. While somewhat a box office failure, getting a very limited theatrical release, it more than made up for it as a cult classic on home video, and getting much praise from critics. It made such an impact that an animated show based on the movie was announced for Adult Swim soon after its theatrical premiere.
I want to tell you a story about a friend I've had. He's a mean soul brother and he's super bad. So grab onto your seats and hang on tight while I tell you a story about Black Dynamite.
He's super groomed and he'll shake the room. He's super fly, one hell of a guy. He's got a sweet back and he knows how to act. Defending holes and all feet, and all the people in between. Sticking it to the man as only he can, do you know what I mean?
No disrespect, but crackers come and go. What else you got?
He'll break your heart. Better watch out, girl. Most black dicks are private, but he'll share his with the world.
Now that's a mouthful. What is it, Black Dynamite?
Nothing. I'm fine.
You need me to get you something?
Nah, Mama, I'm okay.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, it's all...
Is there something I can get you?
Damn it, I already told the second bitch no.
My grave, can you dig it?
What more can I say? The man is black. Dynamite! Dynamite!
With the cast for the film returning to reprise their roles, including Byron Mins, Tommy Davidson, and Kim Whiteley, the show does not share any specific continuity with the film, because it was animated, was able to include much more over-the-top action and violence than the film had. Lasting 2 seasons, it was one of the few full 30-minute episode shows for the network, and would be stuffed with guest stars, including Cedric Yanoth, Chance the Rapper, JB Smoove, and Tyler the Creator.
Oh, this is no movie, Little Orphan Terrio. This is your new life. I mean, if you know how to kill.
Oh, I know how to kill him.
Ooh, ooh, kill him. Ooh, 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 kill him. Ooh, ooh, ah! Ooh, killed him.
On the live-action side would be The Restless Belle, a high school drama parody so obscure and forgotten it doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. And Your Hole, a series of self-help infomercial parodies from comedian Michael Ian Black. In addition, we would see 2 shows which on the surface have very similar premises, but approached in very different styles. First being Loiter Squad. From rapper Tyler the Creator, the show was described as a mix of Jackass and The Chappelle Show, leading to the working title of Blackass. The show would be a mix of sketch comedy and man-on-the-scene prank segments, but while Loiter Squad would have a shorter 3-season run, its contemporary would have a bit of a stronger impact.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Eric Andre Show!
The Eric Andre Show, created by comedian Eric Andre, would be a sort of parody mix of late-night talk shows and man-on-the-scene prank shows. In fact, Andre cites Space Ghost Coast to Coast as an inspiration for the show itself. Andre would describe himself as being flat broke at the time of putting together the pilot for the show, scraping and doing random television and commercial work to get by. The pilot would be filmed with future co-host Hannibal Buress in an abandoned bodega, and after filming the Man on the Street segments, Andre would be too broke to afford an editor. Knowing it would take way too long to explain to one person what to do with all this different footage he had captured, he took it upon himself to edit it, spending over a year learning Final Cut. When he finally finished the pilot, he shopped it around to different networks, including NBC and MTV, who would describe it as looking too cheap looking. But it was only after it came to the attention of Keith Crawford at Adult Swim would he say that making the show would be pretty much a no-brainer for them. What would proceed would be one of the craziest and most ambitious live-action projects the block would be a part of. Adult Swim giving Andre almost full freedom in many aspects of the show, including the frequent destruction of the set and hosting desks in particular, which would lead to Andre being injured quite a bit over the course of the show's filming. The show was a huge hit, with many surprise guests and other controversies that need to be seen to be believed, with the season 6 being announced to premiere in 2023.
This is your mother way. What? Little Nas, are you working on your raps? How's it feel? No, oh shit! No, wait! Watch out! Shit, I'm sorry. You okay back there?
But while not much new would premiere on Adult Swim in 2012, they did have one last trick up their sleeves. one that would be revealed on April 1st of that year. Since 2009, Adult Swim had a yearly tradition going of its April Fool's joke, being a marathon of the so bad it's good classic The Room. In 2010, the night would be spiced up with included segments of Space Ghost on the old Coast to Coast set, interviewing the film's director and star, Tommy Wiseau. And 2011 would see the marathon including various airings of failed series pitch Earth Ghost, which was a series starring Space Ghost actor George Lowe traveling and doing different things, this time with an added CG filter to make him look like his Space Ghost persona. However, when the 2012 event began, and fans were treated to the opening music for The Room's title sequence, they were instead in for a bigger surprise.
Oh, hi, Adult Swim. I got the results of the test back. I definitely have April Fools.
Receiving flight degree transmission. Uploading video for broadcast. All right, Tom, we're ready.
I love this job.
Seconds into the intro, the camera would pull back to reveal the video was showing on a screen of the Absolution, the interstellar broadcasting star cruiser of former Toonami, with the familiar host Tom in the pilot seat. Now back to his Tom 3 appearance. What would precede would be a real-life Toonami broadcast, featuring new bumpers of Tom, including a new game review for Mass Effect 3, as well as programming previously featured on Toonami, like Dragon Ball Z, Blue Submarine, Gundam Wing, Tenchi Muyo, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Big O. The following day, Adult Swim would post a tweet on their official account that read, "Want it back? Let us know," with the hashtag #BringBackToonami. This started a massive push by fans on Twitter and other places for the return of Toonami, which led to another tweet from Adult Swim a few days later reading, "We've heard you. Thank you for your interest and passion. Stay tuned," as well as two bumps during normal Adult Swim programming on April 8th that spoke about the Twitter attention that ended with, "We're listening, and we're looking into it." And on May 26, 2012, Toonami would return, for real this time.
Toonami's back, bitches, and we've got an all-new lineup. Bleach kicks things off at midnight, followed by Dead Man Wonderland at 12:30, Casher and Sins at 1. Next, it's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood at 1:30, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex Second Gig at 2, and Cowboy Bebop brings us to a close at 2:30. Then we flip the switch, start the whole thing over again at 3 a.m. with a bang. Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
Are you as stoked about it as I am?
Now technically a part of the Adult Swim block, Toonami would air weekly on Saturday nights. This late-night time slot allowed them to air more mature shows like the type Adult Swim had been airing previously, including new shows like Dead Man Wonderland and Casser and Sins, as well as the anime reimagining of the classic Akira Kurosawa film Seven Samurai, titled Samurai 7. With Toonami back, it felt like an exciting time for the network. And although Toonami was starting with much older elements to capitalize on the initial nostalgia boost that came with the reveal, plans were already in place to allow Toonami to evolve further than anyone could have ever imagined at the time.
And it's an hour of Bebop from 4 to 5. Then we close out with an hour of Inuyasha from 5 to 6.
Finally, this is starting to get interesting.
Toonami, Saturday nights from midnight to 6 a.m.
This day just keeps getting better.
on Adult Swim.
As 2013 begins, and another decade of Cartoon Network comes to an end, the network is very different from what it was before, both in tone, look, and programming. It would start to rely more on long strings of episodes of the same show throughout the day, with less variety. But despite this, they would still try out new shows with different styles to try to appeal to the next big audience, and find its next big hit. The first original show to premiere in 2013 would be a sort of spin-off of the previous Fort Awesome Uncle Grandpa.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Created by Peter Braungart, who also voices the titular character, Uncle Grandpa follows the adventures of Uncle Grandpa, a sort of godlike figure who is everyone in the world's uncle and grandpa, somehow, traveling the world in a magic RV, solving different problems from children and adults who need help. Traveling with him are his companions, Pizza Steve, played by Workaholics alum Adam Devine, Mr. Gus, played by Kevin Michael Richardson, his belly bag, played by future Bugs Bunny Eric Bauza, as well as a giant realistic flying tiger. While the show had a mixed reception during its airing, it managed to run for a respectable 5 seasons, and managed to perform a rare crossover special with another show to premiere the same year, one that, while it would have a bit of a shaky life on the network, would manage to make a huge impression on the channel and its fans.
We are the Crystal Gems. We'll always save the day. And if you think we can, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of this world believe in garnets, amethyst, and pearl, and Steven!
Steven Universe premiered on November 4th of 2013. It starred, funnily enough, a young boy named Steven Universe, who along with his surrogate mothers, the Crystal Gems, sentient rock aliens who can project human-like appearances, protect the Earth from threats of all kinds. The show was created by Rebecca Sugar, an extremely talented animator who even before working on Steven Universe had earned several Emmy nominations for her work on Adventure Time. And even before that, worked on many different projects, including a short comic about 2 brothers who only speak in Simpsons quotes called "Don't Cry for Me, I'm Already Dead." The show itself is set in the small beach town of Beach City, where Steven lives with the Crystal Gems, and goes with them on different missions to fight different evils and monsters that pop up. The Crystal Gems consist of Garnet, played by singer Estelle, Pearl, and Amethyst. The show would start small as a sort of slice-of-life Monster of the Week affair, but would soon explode in depth, lore, and characters, including the introduction of former villain-turned-ally and clear best gem, Peridot.
It took me a while, but let me tell you how I did it. So I had to go through...
Peridot?
So there I was, face to face with one of those big...
Peridot, you're breaking up.
Running for my life with nothing but a... And then it bit me! And now the Wi-Fi works perfectly. What did you do today?
It would expand into a much larger project and start to focus more on an overarching story, having a balance between one-off episodes that would be easy to rerun and episodes to help advance the plot. The show would earn a strong fan base, especially in the LGBTQ community, for its inclusion of related themes and even an on-screen romance that, while in some cases were censored for broadcast in certain countries, was something rarely seen, if all, on the network. Sugar also cites an inspiration of various magical girl anime, and anime in general, for the creation of the series, Steven himself having powers and traits similar to magical girls. While the show did run into issues with its broadcast, sometimes having its time slot shuffled and new episodes barely advertised, it's a show with a dedicated fan base, even today, earning it rare reruns on the block even today. 2013 would also see an expansion of the previous year's DC Nation, with Cartoon Network and WB attempting to capitalize more on their DC brand with 2 brand new shows for 2013. One that would fizzle too soon, and one that would prove to stick around arguably long past its welcome. The first of these shows was a new entry in the Batman animated franchise, Beware the Batman.
Gotham police are still baffled by the video clip posted online from the self-styled eco-terrorists.
Hello there. Say hello, Mr. Toad. Hello there. We want you all to know what an honor it is to be in your fair city.
Animated in the same CG style as previous DC show Green Lantern, Beware the Batman saw Batman teaming with Katana and a younger, more involved Alfred to protect Gotham from various threats, most of which were first-timers to animated form, like the main protagonist, Anarchy, and recent comic creations Professor Pig and Mr. Toad. Beware the Batman had a lot going against it at the start. Because of the requirements of CG and the production time it required, it needed to make a bigger impression.
I told you to get your eyes checked.
Beware the Batman. New series Saturday morning at 10/9 Central. Part of DC Nation, only on Cartoon Network.
I want to do that again!
But several months later, after premiering, it was suddenly pulled from the schedule with no explanation. It would later be revealed that much like previous shows like Symbiotic Titan, the show had been written off for tax purposes, and therefore would not be allowed to be shown again. Before then, however, it would have a final marathon in the newly revived Toonami the following year to show the final 7 unaired episodes, so the series could get a proper send-off before being unceremoniously tossed aside. 2013 would also see the initial cancellation of Young Justice, as well as the ending of Green Lantern on a somewhat hopeful cliffhanger, essentially ending the short-lived DC Nation block over a year after it started. But one show would survive the DC Nation block in a big way.
It's not much, but it's the only clue I've got. No screws, no seams. What's this thing made of? Nice.
While the original Teen Titans show ended in 2006, we would also see the premiere of a sort of finale movie in the form of Trouble in Tokyo, which would serve as an ending, in a sense, of finally paying off the long-standing ship between Robin and Starfire. But it felt to some fans like there was so much more to tell, especially considering the ending of the series proper with the episode Things Change, which would prove to be more prolific to the show's future than anyone could imagine. There would be further expansions of the characters in a comic book series that would last until 2008, but fans were still wanting more of these characters, and eventually, Cartoon Network and WB would see the demand and decide to bring back the show, but with a twist. This is what you would call a classic monkey's paw situation. Developed by Michael Jelenic and Aaron Horvath, who would later go on to co-direct the box office powerhouse that is the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Teen Titans Go would be a more comedic, pseudo-spin-off from the original Teen Titans show, while the original cast would return to voice the Titans themselves, and several other recurring characters would make appearances, like Jinx and the rest of the Hive, Aqualad, Bumblebee, and so on. It would share no continuity with the previous show, instead being more focused on wacky random humor from random situations, very rarely ever focusing on the fact that they're superheroes. Needless to say, the show had mixed reception from critics and fans, even to this day, as the show has recently celebrated its 10th year anniversary. And with the show's constant airtime, and with it quickly approaching 400 episodes, it seems poised to be a constant figure on the network for years to come, whether we want it or not. Adult Swim in 2013 would also premiere 2 new animated shows for the block that were in a very different styles from each other, and funnily, one of which seems incapable of dying. First up would be Mr. Pickles. Mr. Pickles. Good boys, dog. Be my best friend. Here he comes.
There you are. Good boy.
Created by Will Carsola and Dave Stewart of Funny or Die Presents fame, Mr. Pickles is a sort of Lassie parody with an oblivious boy and a satanic border collie, Mr. Pickles. Unknown to Tommy, his dog is a vicious killer who spends his days rampaging across the little town of Old Town, slaughtering countless victims for his own evil means. The only person who seems to recognize the danger of Mr. Pickles is Tommy's grandfather, but of course, he cannot get anyone to believe him, especially the dim-witted sheriff of the town.
I'm just a little boy, sha-la-la-la-la-la. I'm all alone, so I hope nobody pedophiles me.
However, while Mr. Pickles is evil, he does care greatly for Tommy, and will do whatever is necessary to protect him from the dangers of this horrifying universe. While Mr. Pickles was a show that relied on gratuitous violence and gross-out humor to get ahead, the other animated show to premiere in 2013 would require a bit of a higher IQ to really get. Dan Harmon was a man with an already big reputation before working with Adult Swim. Previously the creator of the immensely popular Community and writer of the immensely forgettable Monster House, he already had a reputation for creating shows with wit, thought, and unnecessary detail that, while not important to the overall project, were still fun to find. But it was only after teaming with a rising voice in the industry would he create his biggest hit.
And I'll get into stuff. Maybe I can look around, you know. Rudy? You see, Theo, each Cosby is getting worse than the last, you see.
Jesus, you're right, Cosby one.
I like to explore the house, you know. I will go around the house. I'm Curiosity Cosby, you see.
Justin Roiland started Channel 101, an LA media collective that was actually started by Harmon himself, and created several shorts such as House of Cosbys, The Unmarketables, and a strange parody of Back to the Future that clearly was not going to lead to anything.
Oh man, my kite's in the tree, Doc. I hate this stupid tree. I'm so sad.
Don't be sad, Marty. We'll go back in time, and we'll make sure that your kite doesn't get stuck in the tree.
All right, Doc, that sounds great. I'm gonna go get my boots.
As he worked, he would also be a recurring character on the Sarah Silverman project, and his unique voice and mannerisms landed him many voice acting roles on shows like Fish Hooks and Gravity Falls for Disney and Adventure Time. In 2012, Harmon was briefly fired from Community in what would later be known as the Gas Leak season. An Adult Swim, who was looking for more projects, approached him to create something. Harmon was not initially on board and didn't think Adult Swim was the right place for his work. As well, he wasn't really familiar with animation. So we contacted Justin Roiland, who immediately brought up his vulgar and crude Back to the Future parody as baseline. After some retooling, work, and writing in order to tone down the show to a TV-14 rating for Adult Swim, who wanted the show to air in primetime to compete with other big names, Rick and Morty was born.
Rick, in the time it took you to make this thing, couldn't you have just, helped me with my homework? Are you listening to me, Morty? Homework is stupid. The whole point is to get less of it. Just, come on, let's just get over there and deal with this thing. Except your teacher, you're frustrating me.
The story of a boy and his drunk, dimension-hopping grandfather, Rick and Morty would explode in popularity when it aired with its mix of sci-fi adventuring and outrageous, sometimes semi-improvisational humor.
What the hell? Out of the frying pan, ... huh, Morty? Oh man, what's going on? Well, it's possible that your dog became self-aware and made modifications on the cognition amplifier, then turned on Jerry Beth in summer after learning about humanity's cruel subjugation of his species, but your guess is as good as mine, Morty.
Rick and Morty themselves would both be voiced by Roiland himself, as well as other fan-favorite characters like the Meeseeks and Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Before this semester's over, you're gonna be real sick of that phrase!
The show would start mainly focusing on the relationship of Rick and Morty, as they have little one-off adventures. But as the show progressed, it would open itself up to include the other family members, like Rick's granddaughter, Summer, his daughter, Beth, and Beth's husband, Jerry, who is frequently the butt of the jokes involving the family.
Oh, God.
Whoa, what the hell?
Look out for that homeless guy!
Open the door! Open the door! Open the door!
There isn't time! Just run!
Get out here and help me!
They say you shouldn't do that! Just run!
The series was a smash hit that, as of now, is set for at least 10 seasons with a recent order, which would be put into jeopardy with the recent allegations coming out against Justin Roiland, forcing Adult Swim to cut ties with him and announced a recast of his role in the show.
Hey look, Morty! I'm a leg! A leg, Morty!
Despite this, the show had a huge impact on the mainstream, getting tons of tie-ins, including massive direct tie-in with Wendy's advertising God of War and Death Stranding, appearing in games like Fortnite and Rainbow Six Siege, and mountains of merch, even a cameo in the recent Space Jam reboot.
We're done running tests on your Badger thing. It turns out his condition is irreversible.
I'll never erase what I saw from my brain.
He's your problem now, dum-dum!
Along with this, Adult Swim would also try more live action, first in the form of 2 television parodies, being Hot Package, a parody of Entertainment Tonight and other celeb news shows, and Newsreaders, a spin-off of Children's Hospital about the fictional news show in the show's universe. As well, we would get a new Tim and Eric show, with Tim and Eric's Bedtime Stories, which would be an anthology horror series in the Tim and Eric style.
So, what have you guys been up to? Enjoying your time off? I know, right? You wouldn't believe the trouble I get into when I'm left to my own devices.
People have been asking about me?
Oh yeah. Look, I know you said to keep it between us, but we might have to tell that story one day.
Okay, whatever you think is best, bro. Take care of yourself. It's all up to you now.
Alright, man. Take her easy. Good dude.
The real big changes were happening over at Toonami, whereas before, the Tom 3.5 era, as it is known now, was used up of mostly reused footage of the Tom 3 era from the Cartoon Network airings with new voiceovers. It was time for Tom to get a new upgrade to reflect his new home.
Sarah, how you been?
Hello, Tom. It's good to see you again.
No doubt. Been too long.
Are you ready to begin?
Oh yeah. I just gotta figure out how to run this new baby.
Tom 5 would be introduced on April 27, 2013, along with a new Absolution and the return of Sarah. The block's look and style would also get a drastic revamp, with all new bumpers and assets to work with. Along with the new look would come new shows. Not a lot to start with, but still some popular shows like Soul Eater and Sword Art Online, as well as the Toonami premiere of Fooly Cooly, which before would be considered an Adult Swim show, but since Toonami was part of Adult Swim, it fit naturally in the new block.
Nothing amazing happens here. Nothing amazing.
Naoto was an ordinary boy, living in an ordinary town with an ordinary life.
What are you doing? Homework.
Until an encounter with a mysterious stranger and her bass guitar changed everything.
Guess I better hit him again.
The portal in his head and the robots coming out of it are the least of his problems. And besides battling a space patrol officer, the Department of Interstellar Immigration, and Medical Mechanica, he's still got to work through the biggest challenge of all. Puberty.
I should teach you how to be a man, Taku.
Toonami is proud to present one of the greatest anime series of all time. Finally, where it belongs, Fooly Cooly. Next Saturday night at 2:30. Think smooth. Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
This last 10 years of Cartoon Network would bring massive changes to the channel. From the rise and fall of countless shows, blocks, and even the deaths and revivals of its most beloved block, Cartoon Network would chase trends for better or worse, and take some risks, but it would feel like the risks were becoming fewer and far between, abandoning some projects and even writing them off if they weren't an overnight success. But Cartoon Network was still the premier place for cartoons of all kinds and for all ages, and it would attempt to continue that in the decade ahead. A decade we'll cover next time